How long would it take you to make $2,000? I don't know about you, but for me, in my 9 to 5 as a carpenter, it would have taken me about a month just to put together $2,000, a month of backbreaking slave labor. But today, I'm actually going to show you step by step how I make $2,000 in just 1 hour by writing one simple sales page. And you are going to get access to everything. You're going to watch me do it. I'm going to give you access to the documents and all of the files that I'm using here in this video so that you can do the exact same thing. And there you go, just like that, in 56 minutes, just timed myself. 56 minutes just made that sales page that I can now sell for about $2,000. So ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, today you're gonna be watching me create $2,000 in 1 hour by writing a simple sales page as a copywriter. So let's go through some examples here, because you know it wouldn't be a Tyson 4D video if I didn't show you the proof as to how people are doing this right now today. Like Daniel, for example. He said, we're doing a $1,500 for a landing page plus welcome sequence and another $1,500 for the same thing in her other coaching business. And then Ethan, one of my private one-to-one students, is saying, I closed my first deal right now, did a whole landing page for $1,000. And this is his very first deal. So can you imagine, let's say you've done a couple sales pages before in the past, or you've worked with some other big names. Now you're able to increase your billable worth and can charge $1,000, $2,000, even upwards of $3,000 for a single sales page, which you can create in 1 hour, which I'm going to show you how to do in this very video. And then lastly, we have another one of my private one-to-one students. Again, his very first client, one video sales letter plus sales page at $2,000. So if you're wondering if this can work, not only did I show you one, not two, not three, but also my own testimony where I myself have been able to make this much money just by writing one sales page as well. Now, as you can see, I get this question every single time I bring up one of my private students. My question is that you mentioned your students. How does one enroll to become your student? I would really want to become successful at this. Well, there's still a few spots open this month. And if you want to become one of my private students, that link is down below in the description. And if you don't, then just enjoy this video. So here's what it actually looks like, how long it takes me to do each step to actually create a sales page I can sell for $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 in just 1 hour. So it takes me around 10 minutes just to gather the info. I'm going to show you exactly where I got the info from, but 10 minutes for info gathering. I literally watched a 10-minute video and that's it. Now, you can take longer to gather more info. You can do some more research on other similar pages. You can do some more research on that particular client alone. But the reason as to why the info gathering doesn't really take that long is because, like I'm going to show you here in a minute, you want to speed run the sales page and then give it to them as soon as possible, because a lot of copywriters are of the misconception that you have to take weeks to build this sales page and you got to do all this research and then you got to do draft after draft after draft after draft and then final draft. It's really not like that. What I like to do in my approach is I'll tell the client, yeah, I'll get it back to you in like 3 days to a week. And to them, that's super quick. They're like, holy crap, are you sure you can make it that quick? And I'm like, yeah, for sure. And I literally write it in an hour. Like I'm about to show you how I do. And what I do is I write it in an hour, I finish it, it's still kind of rough, and then I give it to them. And I say, hey, am I on the right track? That's it. I literally give it to them, ask them if they're on the right track, and they're blown away every single time. So all I need to do is, again, write it for an hour, and that's usually all I have to do. If they have any revisions or things to tweak, again, I can spend another 30 minutes on it, but that's it. So like I said, 10 minutes to gather some info, 30 minutes to come up with some ideas and create a rough draft. That's basically it. 20 minutes to finalize and use ChatGPT to optimize. That's all it takes. And then, of course, I submit it to the client. And like I said, having a fast turnaround time and asking if you're on the right track is key. And also, guys, if you want to know how to build a landing page with the software from scratch, once you've actually written it, I'll show you where to get that video, and all the resources shown in this very video, I'll actually give them to you at the end. It will be inside of the free copy starter kit, and I'll show you how to get that at the end of this video. So make sure you watch all the way through. But right here, I have some inspiration pages for you guys. This is kind of just like some things that I thought about and some things that I looked at while I was making the page that I already have. As you can see, there's some copy on these, copy, some testimonials, some more copy. And then over here, again, same thing. There's some copy here as well. So I essentially just looked at these to get ideas and get the juices flowing, right? This is how I always like to start copywriting. A lot of people are of the notion that to become a copywriter or to start writing copy, you just sit there and like you look at a blank page and you wait for inspiration to hit you. It's really not that at all. Almost nothing that I create is just completely from scratch. It's all has to come from somewhere else, right? A copywriter is essentially a synthesizer. It's assembling different pieces of copy into one that's now your own. So here's the actual recipe for the sales page that we're going to be using. Number one, we have to know what the offer is. So what is the actual offer? What are they offering? What is it? That's first and foremost. Next is brand voice. How do they say what they say? Do they go really deep into the dream state? Do they just stay shallow? Do they go really deep into the pain state or into the fear state usually? Or are they kind of like joking about it? Are they kind of funny and witty and comical throughout their delivery? Or are they more serious? Are they talking to a more sophisticated client base? We have to know what their desires and fears are long term. So long term, what will happen if they don't fix this problem? Or what will happen if they don't do it right? But what will happen long term if they do it right? What will they ultimately be able to achieve? Those are the long term fears and desires. Next is the wants and obstacles. So what do they want in the short term? So what's kind of just in their way immediately that's stopping them from getting where they want to go? And what do they want to achieve in order to get past those? And then next, of course, is content commonalities. This is essentially just you creating notes and saying the same things that they're always saying, right? So if they have a particular catchphrase or some really big points that they always hit home on, then you're gonna want to compile those all right here so that you can use them in your sales page. Next, pretty much every single offer talks about why the old way is inferior, okay? This is the belief shift. This is where we're getting them to believe the things that we need them to believe so that we can eventually sell them into what we have, right? So for example, in order for someone to believe that they can actually lose weight, they need to believe they can lose weight before we can sell them on a weight loss program, right? So we might say something like, hey, I was at the same place. I used to think I was big boned. I used to think that I could never lose weight because maybe I had a thyroid issue or something. So I just gave up until I found this one thing. Once I took advantage of this one strategy, hack, diet plan, whatever it was, I was able to lose a bunch of weight. And then so is a whole bunch of other people. And if you want access to this, then I'm going to show you how. That's a very, very oversimplified way of how to shift someone's belief into believing what you want them to believe so that you can sell them down the line. But this is exactly what we want, okay? And now why the new way is superior. So the old stuff doesn't work. All those keto diets, the 30-day beach body, whatever, those don't work because XYZ, right? And then you give them the actual justifications. But the new way, this new way works. And the reason why it works is because, again, more justifications. And then we want to talk about cost narration. Cost narration is simply just your stats, right? Things that you've done to know what you know. Why are you the authority and why should you know what you know? For example, I've helped over 40,000 people lose weight. I myself used to be 300 pounds and now I'm 100 pounds of lean muscle. So the reason why this is so important is because let's say I was talking about here are the top 10 beach vacation destinations. If I just started it with that, it's fine. But the best way to start it is saying, I visited 300 beach vacation destinations. Here are the top 10. Now it adds a lot of validity to your claim and people are going to want to hear what you have to say. So here's the actual sales page we're going to be using today. It is called adspend.com. Watch this short video first, then apply to work with us by filling out the short application below. So I watched this 10-minute video. That's all it is, a 10-minute video. And then I created the sales page. As you can see right here at the bottom, it's literally just a type form. So what I did is I created a sales page that would go below this video sales letter. And again, this is part of the reason why it only took me 10 minutes to actually gather info is because this video is exactly 10 minutes long. So as I was watching it, I literally just wrote a bunch of stuff down and that was it. That was my research. So let's go through some of the things that I actually saw. Now, a short disclaimer, when this offer is about running ads for businesses. So essentially it is a business to business offer. Now these offers are usually pretty sophisticated. They're hard to understand and hard to know about, especially if you haven't been in the business to business space before. This is something that I found. I started making a lot of money with a business to business copywriting, right? This is where I actually started getting those clients that are paying me $2,000 and $3,000. I also had some other niches that I was fairly successful at, like real estate and some things like this. But for me, the business to business was profitable, but it was really hard to learn off rip, right? It was really hard to learn. They said a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't understand, like ROAS, return on ad spend. I didn't know anything about that. I didn't know what a lead was, right? I had no idea about marketing. So these guys are professional business people talking to other professional business people about how to grow their business. And I was an amateur copywriter. I had no idea what they were saying. So it took me a long time to really understand. But, that's kind of the downside. The upside was that there's a lot of money in this niche, right? So for example, this guy is selling his done for you marketing services, probably for like upwards of 20 grand or more. Like it could literally be more. I'm not sure. Of course, you have to fill out the application and get on a call with him to actually see if you're qualified first. But again, these guys charge high ticket like crazy. Like they're charging 10K, 15K, 20K plus for some of these packages. And again, I feel the need to explain why, but the reason why they charge so much is because if you're a business, these guys can help you make tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. So paying them tens of thousands of dollars is not really a huge expense. It's kind of like copywriting as well. You are making them tens of thousands of dollars. Like if I made him 3 sales in 1 month at 10 grand, that's 30K, right? And I've worked with multiple clients who have $30,000 packages in both business to business and real estate. Another short disclaimer, does that mean you have to only work with people with offers that are like $5,000, $10,000? No, it doesn't, but it helps. So what is the actual offer we're looking at? We will install a proven YouTube ads client acquisition system in your business so that you can profitably spend thousands per day and get a 3x return on ad spend within 90 days. So translation, again, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's not going to be super easy or super simple when writing for these types of businesses, but that's part of the reason why I chose this business, just to kind of give you guys some background on that too. So when he says we will install YouTube ads client acquisition system, all this means is we're going to get you clients/customers with YouTube ads in your business so that you can profitably spend thousands per day. So what he means by that is you can spend $1,000 per day on ads and you'll get $4,000 back in clients. That's what he means there. Now, when he says 3x return on ad spend, that means for every $1 you put into ads, you're going to get $3 back, right? So that, in its short, is ROAS, ROAS. That's what it's called. So return on ad spend. So let's say you spend $1 and you get $1 back, right? $1 on ads and $1 back. Now, this wouldn't actually look like $1. It would look like you spent $3,000 on ads and you got $3,000 back. But that's a 1-to-1 ratio. So it's the same thing. So you have a return on ad spend of 1. But let's say you put $3,000 in and you get $9,000 out. Now your return on ad spend is $9,000. Okay. Seems pretty simple, but again, it's hard to really understand when you're just only listening to these dudes because they're not simplifying it. They're just talking to business owners. So it can be kind of difficult to understand. So we promise you 3 key results. 1, we write, edit, and produce your YouTube ads for you. We'll set up and launch your YouTube ads for you. And we'll help optimize, broaden, and scale the ads yourself. So another reason why they can charge so much money is because they're doing so much, right? This is called a done for you agency. So just as a business lesson right here, really quickly, there's done for you, there's done with you, and then there's do it yourself. So a do it yourself is something like a course, right? If I say I'm going to teach you YouTube ads in this $27 course, I'll essentially just teach you how to do it. It's do it yourself. But if I say I'm going to consult you, meaning I'm going to look at what you're doing and tell you what to do, that's done with you. But done for you is we're going to come into your business, we're going to write it for you, edit for you, produce it for you, launch it for you, optimize, broaden, scale, all of it, right? So those done for you people can charge nasty amounts of money. It's just insane. Done with you, again, they can charge more, and then do it yourself. Usually they can't charge that much because, again, it's just like a collection of videos essentially. So brand voice. The brand voice is essentially very professional, no jokes. He shows a lot of proof. He explains a lot of things. He has a lot of explanation, a lot of justification. It's dry, it's sophisticated. So that's kind of what the brand voice is. So I'm going to match that brand voice, right? And I get it. A lot of people in copywriting, they say, well, what if I make it funnier though, and it will make it more entertaining and better to read? It's like, not necessarily. You have to match the brand voice of the business, okay? That's one big thing as well, is that maybe even you would get a better return on your ads or better results, a better conversion rate if you were more funnier, more cheekier, more wittier. But again, if it doesn't match brand voice, then it doesn't matter. Okay, that's one of the most foremost and important things to do. Next is their desires and fears long term. So desires and fears long term, they will forever be stuck with having to post on social media to get clients, right? This is called organic client getting. And most businesses don't want to do that because they're at mercy of the algorithm. So like I just said, being at mercy of the algorithm and the revenue roller coaster that goes down over time. So people don't want to go up and down and up and down and up and down with the revenue, but with a profitable ads strategy, they're going to be more consistent with their month. And then next are wants and obstacles. So They want more and better leads to scale their business. A lead is simply someone who gives you permission to market to them, right? So if you and I know each other, we're not necessarily a lead. If I get your phone number and tell you I'm going to text you sometimes, give you some value, but I'm also going to promote my stuff as well every once in a while, then now you're a lead, right? And that's what a lead is. So in business, you get these leads by doing these YouTube ads. So they want more calls and more sales. So more sales calls and more of those sales calls to actually close and turn into money. They want predictable income. They want scalable ads with a low amount of risk. This is a big one. When people think about ads, they think about risk because you have to put money in first and they're not going to be profitable at first because you have to have a testing budget. Okay. Next is to get at least 3 times return on their ad spend. That's a want. They want to be able to profitably spend thousands of dollars per day on ads, and they want speed. They want quality, and of course they want results. So some content commonalities. I didn't really put much in here because the rest of my research was already kind of handled by this. So I only really put one line. And not to mention, I really just watched the one video through, so I didn't have time to write too much. So all you have to do is press record and let us handle the rest. So that's essentially like how done for you this really is. The old way and why it's inferior. So what do most people do and why is it not as good as what we do? So most people go through agency after agency, and this is something I hear a lot, right? See, after you've also been in a space for a long time, you will realize a lot of commonalities, and it's going to be so much easier for you to write copy. If I was writing this copy for the first time, man, it'd be tough. It would be very, very, very tough. But of course, this is not my first rodeo, so I know what a lot of their talking points are, and I almost like write this stuff just automatically. And it's one of the, from what I understand, one of the most difficult niches, right? Real estate, anything with like stocks, marketing, crypto can be also pretty challenging. Business to business, all of these things can, again, be pretty challenging. But the reason why those are also good niches is because they're profitable, but not many people are in them, especially copywriters, because it's hard to understand what the hell they're even talking about in the first place. So most people go through agency after agency, don't get results. Not because of the agency themselves, but because of the offer and how it's packaged to the marketplace. When the copy is off, the funnel will never work. And again, this is them actually saying this in their video sales letter, right? So if the copywriting is off, the funnel will never work. So essentially, they are advocating for good copywriters like us. Most people just record 30 Facebook ads, throw things at the wall, and see what sticks, right? Again, this is what most people do and why it's inferior. The great part about YouTube is that it's not like Facebook because you're able to scale the budget with far less diminishing returns. Most people try to target too far in the beginning, and it ends up like not being profitable and not making their ads as good as possible. Okay, so these are some common things that people do wrong, and it's the normal way, what everybody else tries. So here's the superior way. Number 1, offer packaging and positioning. Even if you have an offer that's already working, by optimizing it with our offer checklist, you can ensure that you have all the bases covered and your offer dominates among the competition. Without this step, you're going to burn money and waste time. So this is essentially just me copying down what I'm hearing. Number 2 is the ad creative. So how the offer is being communicated. The ad creative essentially just means like the video, right? So if you see a dude that's just talking to the camera like this, that's the ad creative. But if you see like a whole bunch of whiz bangs and editing and cool stuff, and they're in different settings and they're doing a bunch of stuff, that is the ad creative, and that's the entertaining ad creative. And some of the points I didn't even write down. I kind of just had in my head, and that's how I wrote the sales page, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. 3 is intent-based validation. So get product market fit and validate funnel. So product market fit essentially just means like your product is attractive to your market. I'll just leave it at that. This is like the simplest way I could explain it. And validate the funnel. Validate essentially just means like on a small scale, you see if it works. So if it's invalid, essentially it means like you just spent $3,000 on ads and didn't get any clients. You spent $6,000 on ads and didn't get any clients. Okay, it's not going to work. But if you validate it, now it's like you spent $3,000 on ads and you got 3 clients at $3K each. Now you're at $9K. So that means you're at a 3 ROAS. So you put $3K in, you get $9K out. Now you can put 30 grand in and get 90 grand out. Now you can put $300,000 in and get $900,000 out. You're starting to see a pattern here, right? A nice ROI on all of the things that you're doing. And this is how businesses make a crap ton of money with ads. So get everything within KPI so it's scalable at first. So it's scalable first. Now, I want to go ahead and say about 1 to 2% of people watching this right now know what KPI means. If you do, give yourself a pat on the back. If you don't, again, business stuff is complicated. So KPI means key point indicator, right? Is that what that means? I don't know what the actual acronym stands for now that I think about it, but I know what it is, but nobody says key point indicator or what KPI actually stands for. They just say KPI. But essentially a KPI is just a target, right? It's a target number. So let's say you want 50 clicks, like 50 clicks is your KPI. If you have 39 clicks, that's underneath KPI. If you have 60 clicks, that's above KPI. So KPI is essentially just a point or a target that you want. This is why it works so quickly. So, and then the fourth and final is to optimize, broaden, and scale. Now that leads are coming in, the best thing to do is to trim the fat and cut the stuff that doesn't work and only keep the stuff that does work and go farther into that. And that's it. What is the cost narration? So they've earned over $200 million in revenue for their company and clients. They've helped hundreds scale past 7 and 8 figures, meaning $1 to $10 million per year. And he also teaches YouTube ads for Sam Ovens' mastermind. Okay, so those are some big authority points right there. Here are some AI prompts that I used for ChatGPT. I'm going to take you guys through the little ChatGPT log and how I literally argued with it to get the best results that I wanted. So what I told it is, I'm trying to create a written sales page for a business. Here is the data I've collected so far. And I literally just copy and pasted this stuff up above and told it to make me the sales page. And then I said, now make it more witty and clever. Add things like alliteration, rhyme schemes, and catchy phrases, right? So what I did is I didn't copy and paste the whole thing. I didn't use it all. I essentially just did these prompts. I went through, and if I saw one line that I liked, I put that line in. If I saw a couple things that I liked or a couple things that could be better, I just improved it, right? What I never do is just go in, tell it to make me something, copy, paste it into a doc, and then send it off. That's lazy. That's dumb. You don't want to do that. Again, ChatGPT is a tool. It is not a replacement for you. It doesn't make any sense. So next, this is good, but make it twice as long and expand more to make it more persuasive. Add more things like justifications, quotes, and analogies. These ones are big, especially analogies. Pretty much every offer you're going to see has analogies because it's a great way to simplify a point and get people to really understand it. Come up with analogies for this one line, or finish this sentence with an analogy, right? Those are some of my favorite prompts, the ones that I use to create this sales page that you're about to see. Questions? You got questions so far? Please go down below and comment them so that I can help you. So I answer your questions. So here's the exact ChatGPT log, but I'm gonna go through the sales page template that I used and then what I came up with first. So here's the template that I use. And again, this is a template that all of you guys can get access to down below in the description for free in the free copy starter kit. As you can see, I just have random stuff in here right now. This is not what we're actually writing about, but this is the eyebrow copy. This is the body copy, and this is the deck copy. So I guess I'll go through this really quickly. The eyebrow copy usually does something like tell someone what they're going to know, or it calls out your desired audience, or both. The main headline gives the main promise, right? The big promise, and also adds some proof. And then the bottom usually has something to do with without a pain point, right? Without having to XYZ. So even if you have no prior experience, you don't have an offer already, and without any social proof, that's the example that I have. Or again, it just adds to the promise. So here's how you can do XYZ in 90 days, even if blah, blah, blah. Right. So there's tons of different ways that you can go about it, but that is the long and short of how you kind of just do the sales page. And then the next here, I just have 4 examples so you can easily visualize it: the video sales letter, the buttons, and some testimonials, right? So when you're creating just writing the copy for a business, this sort of thing is going to go a long, long way, because they're going to see this and you're going to be like, holy crap, this dude literally made us a sales page inside of Google Docs. This is insane. Over here, so this is essentially what a sales page looks like, right? I'm going to go back to these other ones. You see you have a scroll stopper and then some text, and then a scroll stopper and then some text. What do we see over here? We see, if we go back to the top, scroll stopper, text, and then we go down here, scroll stopper, more stuff, right? So you have these big headlines and then some text underneath, just like I have here. Headlines, text underneath, headlines, text underneath, headlines, And then again, like I said, make it look like a sales page. So I added kind of like a table here, and this is a compare and contrast block. This is what it's called. So this is the old stuff, what most people do. This is the new stuff, what we do. It's a very quick and concise way to communicate some of the values and some of the changes that people are going to see and experience once they have started working with you. So again, that's the free sales page example that you guys can get inside the free Copy Starter Kit down below in the description, along with literally everything else you see inside of here. So here's what I actually came up with, and then I'm going to take you through the Chat GPT log. So coaches and course creators, in the next 10 minutes, you're about to discover, that's the eyebrow copy, the YouTube ads client acquisition system that's guaranteed to earn you a 3x return on ad spend in the next 90 days, and how we can install the entire system for you, right? That's what I came up with. Is it the best thing in the world? I don't know. The thing with sales page headlines is that they are subjective until you make them objective, which means that it's subjective until you test them together, okay? So the headline is going to be by far, the most important part of the whole sales page, okay? And it doesn't matter how many people, 5 people, 10 people, 100 people, doesn't matter how much experience, doesn't matter if each 100 people has 100 years of experience, it does not matter. The only way to understand which headline is better is by testing it. And the way you test it is by doing a split test. What this looks like is most softwares have this already installed. It's an option. But what you can do is when people click on a link, they have a 50-50 chance of landing on 2 separate sales pages. Okay. One sales page has headline number 1, and another sales page has a different variation of that headline. So what it's going to do is it's going to give you the data of which people buy more from which headline works best. So it is a data-driven way to see which headline works best. So when you're creating a headline, again, don't overthink it, because the data is going to speak for itself. Okay. So it's not like, oh, I only have one shot at this. Like, you just make a headline that would be good. Again, I didn't overthink this headline. I did it in 3 seconds. 3 seconds. That's it. So video sales letter, and this is the visual representation of what the page will look like. Then some scroll stoppers. So here's how our 8-figure team at adspend.com can install this proven YouTube ad system for you. We will install a proven YouTube ads client acquisition system in your business so that you can profitably spend thousands per day and achieve a 3x return on ad spend within 90 days. That's the offer. That's what it is. Just press record and we'll take care of the rest. Our promise, 3 key results. For production service, we write, edit, and produce your YouTube ads. Seamless setup and launch. We handle the entire setup and launch of your YouTube ads. No tech headaches, just a streamlined process that gets results. So no pain points, it's just a benefit. Like, understand, this is essentially just all the stuff that I already created. As you can see, I just assembled the copy. I'm not really writing anything. I'm not really making anything super interesting. So I also added some alliteration here, which means seamless setup or ongoing optimization. This is essentially where you create a phrase where the beginning of the phrase sounds the same. So if I said like simple, seamless setup, the alliteration there is a lot of S's. Or ongoing optimization. It just makes it sound that much catchier. It makes it sound just professional and actually well thought out. So we optimize, broaden, and scale the ads ourselves. And then this question, what would your business look like with as many ready to buy leads as you could handle? Now, this is something, again, I kind of know from my background in business to business. Ready to buy leads means like hot leads that are ready to buy as soon as they go on the call because they've been pre-qualified and they've been warmed up. And what would your business look like if you had as many as you could handle? I mean, these questions are ones that I kind of have gotten from my past and have gathered. But again, this is just a regular scroll stopper that's meant to put them into the dream state, right? So a really good way to put someone into the dream state. I'll give you a bad example first. So here's what a lot of people do. Picture this, or imagine this. You wake up, you open your calendar, and there's a whole bunch of sales calls there, right? That's what most people do. And the reason why I don't feel as though it works that well is because it's super played out, and it really doesn't work on sophisticated audiences in my experience, because again, they're sophisticated. So I'm not going to sit there and imagine. But this is a way to say it that's not going to trigger what's called someone's sales guard, because it's not how it's usually phrased. What would your business look like with as many ready to buy leads as you could handle? Then to think, what would that look like? I guess I would be making a lot more money. So Creating predictable client acquisition systems is the key to scaling any business to 7 to 8 figures and beyond. There's no better way to attract more and better leads than tapping into the gold mine of traffic available on YouTube. A gold mine of traffic available on YouTube is, again, something I got from the video sales letter. Big budgets can be daunting, but with a proven system responsible for tens of millions in profit for the biggest brands, they become opportunities, right? So most people feel as though big budgets are scary, but with a proven system, big budgets turn into opportunities. That's what I'm saying here. And this is a ChatGPT line. This is a line that I was inspired from ChatGPT, where it said they become opportunities. So that's where that comes from. Again, not much of this is off the top of my head. There's a couple parts that are, but that's because I've been doing it for a long time. Here's how the YouTube client acquisition system works. So number one, offer packaging and positioning. I'm not going to read everything here because I'm just essentially reiterating what I saw in the video sales letter. Ad creative, intent-based validation, optimize, expand, and scale. Here's the difference. So here's where I put the side by sides. Again, this is like contrast marketing. I'm showing you, here's what most people do, why it's inferior. Here's how we're going to do it and why it's going to get you a lot better results. So I'll go through this one. Say goodbye to hiring agency after agency after agency that don't bring real results. Experience what it's like to install a proven system that you can scale with consistently. Say goodbye to throwing 30 Facebook ads at the wall to see if something sticks, and experience what it's like to find what works before pumping cash into testing. Say goodbye to burning cash and time on ads that never profit, and experience what it's like to create a low risk, low barrier to entry system that profits early. The biggest reasons most ads are never profitable. So scroll stoppers are essentially exactly what they're called, right? It's pretty self-explanatory. People are going to scroll through this, and a scroll stopper means like it's trying to stop the scroll and get them to start reading, okay? So when someone's just skimming here, what's the difference, okay? And then they're going to read this because it's short, concise, easy to understand. That's why this scroll stopper is powerful. This scroll stopper is powerful because they want to know, maybe they've done ads before in the past, or they're thinking about doing ads in the future. And they want to learn as much as they can. Here's why most ads are never profitable. Unoptimized offer, quickly diminishing profits, targeting too wide too soon. So I'll go through these. Unoptimized offer. A working offer and an optimized offer aren't the same. And this is what so many business owners get wrong. So this is a belief shift because it's a new angle that most people haven't heard before. And when you start actually teaching people and giving them value in the sales page itself, then again, they're going to look for you for the solution. An offer that converts organic or warm traffic can certainly make money. But unless you optimize your offer, you'll always have trouble consistently scaling with ads. Quickly diminishing profits. The worst part about trying to scale with social media platforms like Facebook is that if you profit on a small scale, trying to pump more money into ads will quickly cause your ads to fatigue and become less profitable, holding you back from potentially scaling to 7 figures and beyond. This is a point that I actually got from the video sales letter. Like he was saying, this is why Facebook ads aren't the best. And then I essentially just wrote this in my own words. Pump more money into ads, quickly cause your ads to fatigue, right? So he didn't use this exact verbiage, cause your ads to fatigue. But again, because I spent so much time in the space, ad fatigue essentially means they'll work for a small scale, but they stop working because the people you're running ads to have already seen it. Ad fatigue, that's what that means. The next mistake is targeting too wide too soon. In order to minimize upfront investment in ads, which is something people really, really want, it's crucial to nail it before we scale it. That's why we intentionally test on the highest converting audience and get the best return on ad spend we can before advertising to broader audiences. Boom. So another scroll stopper, it's time to swap chaos for consistency. Again, that's using alliteration and that's coming up with like a catchy phrase. And I got this from ChatGPT. If you want to confidently spend thousands of dollars in ads and still profit consistently, we'll take care of the grunt work for you, which means we'll do all the hard stuff. We write, edit, produce, set up, and launch your YouTube ads, help you scale to over 7 figures like we've been able to do for hundreds of other coaches and course creators. Sounds too good to be true? Here's the catch. This is going to cause people to actually read because when you say something like, here's the catch, or here's the downside, or here's the bad news, they're going to want to read that because when people read things, they initially just become skeptical. They always become skeptical. So by addressing that skepticism and being like, look, It sounds really good to be true, but here's the problem. Here's the bad thing. People are immediately going to be locked in. They're going to stop their scroll. 1, we only work with businesses where 100% sure we can scale. This is why we're able to make such an outrageous offer. Now, this is something that I kind of heard in the video sales letter, but exactly what he said was, we only work with businesses who we know can help scale. And this is a way to disarm their sales guard when they get on the sales call, because they don't want to feel sold. They don't want that sales pressure. So they want to get on simply because they think that the call is mostly about qualifying them, which it is as well. We understand our reputation is on the line. So if you get on a call with us, there's no reason for us to try and sell you. We want to see if you're qualified first, and only then you can take advantage of this offer. Number 2, because of the one-to-one nature of the service, we can only work with a limited number of coaches and course creators. We currently receive hundreds of applications daily, and spots are limited. So if you're interested in having our team help scale your ads, go down below and book a demo call with us. Talk soon. And that's essentially the whole sales page. And I have some more future possible scroll stoppers. So all I really started with, right? Here's the actual process of me writing it. Again, I did the whole recipe over there, and then I came up with some scroll stoppers. So throwing a bunch of Facebook ads at the wall to see what sticks, that's not a strategy. It's wishful thinking. Self-explanatory. And then I could write a little blurb underneath that. Every sales call is an opportunity. And with a proven YouTube system, you'll have plenty. After 18 months in the trenches and $2 million in profitable ad spend, whatever, we've been able to learn XYZ. Here's what we've done. So this is where I'm using cost narration. Now, again, I would send literally what you see right here into the client and say, hey, what do you think? I also have some other proven scroll stoppers at the bottom, but I want you to tell me if I'm on the right track. Usually they'll go through, they'll read it. They'll be like, you know what? This is awesome. This is great. I'm going to add it to my sales page, or I'm going to get that part of my team to go ahead and add it to the sales page or create the sales page. So now, of course, I want to teach you how to make AI your slave to actually write a whole bunch of the copy for you. So here's the exact ChatGPT log. Again, this is linked in the document, which is in the free copy starter kit, which you can access. So I'm trying to create a written sales page for a business. Here's the data I've collected so far. And then I literally put the recipe inside. And then here's what ChatGPT spit me out. Unlock predictable growth with our proven YouTube ads client acquisition system. So here's the thing with using ChatGPT. And a part of the reason why I don't think beginners should rely too much on ChatGPT, because it's a very, very common thing I see. I read the first 3 lines of their email and I'm like, bro, you didn't write this. This is all AI. So when you say things like unlock, that's clearly ChatGPT. And I'll go through and point out a lot of the ChatGPT stuff. But when it says stuff like unlock, embark on this journey, like this sort of thing, it's very, very obvious, and it's going to look super lazy and bad. Okay. You want to make, like, if you were to read my sales page right there, you wouldn't be able to tell that pretty much any of it was written by ChatGPT. So let's go through. Are you tired of the constant hustle of social media, always chasing your algorithm's favor to get clients? So about the algorithm thing, this is something that I learned from most business-to-business coaches, but the guy in this particular video didn't talk about it too much, so I didn't hit on that point too much. Our offer, 3 keys. So essentially, it's kind of just reiterating a lot of the stuff that I already said, and that's why the first go of ChatGPT isn't going to be that great, isn't going to be that mind-boggling. So I just said make it more witty. Now it gives me this whole bunch of stuff about a magic wand and like the 3 key magic tricks, the ad alchemy, launch wizardry. And again, like I said, this doesn't fit brand voice at all, because the brand voice is very clear-cut, simple, sophisticated. So talking about a magician is not what we want to do here. So I pretty much disregarded this prompt. It was dookie. So then I gave it another one. This isn't witty, right? And you have to argue with ChatGPT. That's how you use it. You just argue with it. I don't like the magic theme. It's not professional. By witty, I mean clever, alliteration, rhyme schemes, catchy phrases. Try again. Unleash, another ChatGPT term you don't want to use. Our offer. Also, embrace. Anything with embrace, don't use embrace. Also, something like soar to new heights. That's very ChatGPT, right? So this one didn't really give me anything I liked either, honestly. So again, I have to argue with it and say it again. This is good, but make it twice as long. So when I say make it twice as long, it just gives me more stuff to take from and expand on the tips, making them even more persuasive. Add more justifications like quotes and analogies to really drive the points home. And this is where it started to get good and started to give me some good stuff. So for example, it said, it's time to swap chaos for consistency. And that's literally what I used in my sales page right here. Boom. It's time to swap chaos for consistency. That's one part that I actually ended up using. So I didn't really use too much from that. Again, I kind of just took some overall structural advice from it. But then again, I say, come up with an analogy for something being ineffective, right? I wanted to say how something is ineffective. So then it says, sure, here's an analogy for something being ineffective. It gives me this big thing that I didn't want. So I said, make it one line and then make 10 of them. Forget making it about a marketing strategy, right? Because I just wanted things that are ineffective. So ineffective as using a flashlight in daylight is just a waste of batteries. Ineffective as fishing without bait. Ineffective as trying to row a boat with a spoon. So some of these aren't that good. I've gotten some good ones from it before. Like, this is going to be as useful as pedals on a wheelchair, right? That's one that I've heard before that I found was funny and was pretty good. Another one is like, it's as efficient as trying to cut your front lawn with a pair of safety scissors, right? So it can give you some good ones sometimes. Right here, it wasn't giving me anything really that good. So I just got something from my own mind, right? And sometimes here's what it's going to do. It's not going to give you anything good to use that you can copy and paste, but it will get the gears flowing in your own head so that you can actually come up with stuff. That's another good way that ChatGPT can be used. Okay, so that is exactly how I use ChatGPT. And now I want to give you yet another free gift. Yes, that is right. Tyson, free value 4D. If you don't know me already, man, you are in for a treat because everything on this channel is just nuts, absolutely nuts, because the value that I give out is insane, especially like this. This is the 100 sales page swipe file. So as you can see in here, some of them don't have previews, but this is a whole complete sales page. I'm going to go right here like this. Then you go up to the top. This is a long sales page. But as you can see, headline right there. There's some more points down here, some more copy right here, some more copy right here. And there is 100 of them. Here's another one. You see, more copy, more stuff you can literally take from, more phrases you can read, more stuff you can study, more stuff you can get, more stuff that you can get inspiration from. As you can see, there's like so much copy in here. It's just nuts. You can see how all these other sales pages are created. So I'm going to give that to you guys for free. Again, in the free copy starter kit down below. If you don't have that already, I honestly don't know what you're doing because you're missing out and choosing not to take advantage of one of the best resources literally on the whole entire internet. So if you want to know how to build a landing page, I'll put that video on screen right now. I literally go into the software and show you step by step how to build one. And I also am going to put on a playlist of my free 4-hour copywriting course. Guys, step number 1, don't be a square, leave a like and share. This is what the actual video looks like. That's the thumbnail. And this is kind of like a screenshot of what it actually looks like. I show you how to create the mockup. I show you how to create the text inside of there. I show you the pictures, how to do literally everything. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. Go out there, make a sales page, make some money. And of course, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.